Hi everyone, so today I thought I will do a quick video just to update you. I have ordered a few new Daniel Smith watercolors to add to my palette. They're not new in terms of a new release, they're just new to my collection. And if you remember from one of the last videos, I have mentioned that I bought this Heidi Swapp little tin from her Magnolia Jane collection, and it basically was housing those gold clips, and I'm intending to just fill it up with these half pans like so. Adhere a magnetic sheet, just cut small pieces of it, and then make sure that the pans stay in there. And I have tested already, I can get 18 of them in the palette, so that's all great. I have here 5 15mm tubes, and then also the 3 mini ones. And the reason I got the large ones is because it was more economical, and I was pretty sure I would like the watercolor, so I was certain. Here I've got 8 colors. I think I will use all of them possibly for this palette, but the rest I will use from the portable painter, so the other 10 colors will be from here, and I will take out basically 2 colors. Is that right? Because it's a so it's a 12 color palette, so majority of the colors will be from this palette. So yeah, I'm quite excited about it. Okay, so I've squeezed them out, and as you could see, the this one, the 4th one, which is the English red earth, it was just erupting and I could hardly catch it. But it's the smoothest or the most liquid one, because the others I need to go in and fill in the corners, so that when they dry they will be nice and flat. Okay, so I'm just using a knitting pin and that's or needle, and that's what I could find in my studio quickly, because I want to make sure that I push the paint into the corner so they dry like this, nice and flat, rather than with a blob like so. And let me just use that for swatching, so I'm going to go in the same order as I have it here. Anyway, so the first color was the Rhodonite Genuine, so it's from the Primatech, and it means it was created by grinding up a real rock or mineral to create these watercolors. Where it says Primatech, that's what it means. So the next one is a beautiful red, and it's the red that I was after for a very long time, and I kind of was waiting. I ordered these on Jackson's Art, by the way, and I was waiting for a 5mm tube, and they have never restocked that one, or it's not available, so I basically bought the 15mm tube, and the color is called Perylene Scarlet. The next one is Deep Scarlet, and it's more kind of like a muted down red color, which can be really, really beautiful for the purpose that I am using. So in case you are curious, I still will be using my 12 color portable painter, but this particular palette I am designing is going to be for a certain purpose, whereas my portable painter, the one that I use always for my watercolor illustrations, that's the one that I always use and I still will be going for when I need to create something. But this one is a very specific palette. So the one I just skipped, and I already told you, that was the English Red Earth. So that's this brownie color. It looks like a brown, but it's not. And then the one I've just done, it's the Iridescent Scarab Red. So I really wanted to try a kind of shimmery duochrome watercolor from Daniel Smith. There is a beautiful range they have, and this one reminds me a lot of that MAC eyeshadow that sort of looks kind of brownish, but it has a green iridescence to it. So the next one we have is the Mayan Blue Genuine. So that's another Primatech color, and it's kind of feels really thick. So I really will need to make sure to push it into these corners right here, and that should be enough. As you can see, there's plenty of it on the end of the needle because it's so thick. Okay, next one is the Ultramarine Turquoise, and it's an unusual color in terms of I haven't come across many Ultramarine Turquoise, and it's a very beautiful color. I was in between that one and the Phthalo, I think it's the Phthalo Turquoise, but I decided for this one, and because it says it's ultramarine, I'm expecting it to be quite granulating, and so that should be a really interesting color to mix with and to work with. So here it is. And then finally it's the Payne's grey. It's my favorite grey ever, and I do think, although I can mix something similar, it's just such a convenience color, and I use it very, very often, and it's great to mute any of your other watercolors very quickly without spending the time of going back and forth and mixing the perfect gray and then using it to mute it down. So yeah, that's the reason I bought it for. I need to have it in my palette for sure. So that's that. It's also very, very thick, and it was, when I unscrewed the top of it, you could see that it was sitting perfectly in the tube with no eruption, and just it was very well behaved. Okay, so let me go ahead and quickly swatch these out. That's all I'm going to do for today. I'm just going to swatch them out and leave it at that, and then there will be a separate video where I will be talking about creating that palette and adding other colors. So let's do that. So today I'm going to be doing swatches straight in my swatch book, which I have done a flip through so you can have a look. And let's see, so we're going to start with the Rhodonite Genuine, and it has dried up really quickly considering that I have just squeezed them out. It's a very pretty kind of muted pink. It has a very natural look to it, and that was the reason I got it, because I have plenty and plenty of pinks, but I didn't want just a pink. I wanted something that's quite different, and that it will give me a good addition to my palette. So let's have a look. The one that you see here for a comparison is Quinacridone Pink. So next one we have Perylene Scarlet, and that's the one I'm really happy about. And actually, when I was ordering this Pearl Red, I actually was hoping for this Perylene Scarlet, but like I said, they only had 15mm tubes, and I was waiting for them to get the 5mm tube in, but it never happened, so I just went ahead and I got this red, which is a really beautiful cool toned red. So next one is Deep Scarlet, and that's a kind of a more muted dark red, kind of like a blood red type of color, which I really like, again for this purpose that I ordered it for. So it's going to be quite a unique palette, a palette that I probably won't use for many other purposes. Next one is Iridescent Scarab Red, so that is a duochrome, like I said. I really like this duochrome because it goes on quite nicely as a color, so the background color or the base color is quite nice, but with the addition of the duochrome as well, it looked quite nice, and so that's why I went for it. You need to wait for it to dry to see the duochrome, which I will do once I dry these colors. Next one is the Mayan Blue Genuine, a really nice blue, like a greyish muted blue. Sorry for being off camera. There we go. This being a genuine color, I'm presuming that there is going to be plenty of granulation there. And then this one, I really need to play with it because it's supposed to be more interesting than just a Viridian, so, or in other words, phthalo green. It is quite a pretty color. And then finally it's the very thick and also almost dried up Payne's grey. Just a, you know, just a grey really. If you apply it quite thickly, it almost comes across as a black. However, it's a very pretty blue toned grey. I really like it a lot. So let me just go ahead and dry them, and then hopefully I can show you what they look like. Alright, so I just realized that I didn't swatch the English Red Earth, which I have done now here, and it's a color that actually in sort of I would not normally think of purchasing or adding to my palette. It's meant to be quite opaque from what I remember, but I purchased it for the purpose of like a very pale pink, natural pale pink. Anyway, it all will make sense in the next video when I will put the palette together. But basically, let me just show you what these look like. This is the Khadi paper, and it's the, I believe it's the smooth paper actually. You'd be surprised, it still has really nice texture. And I will put in the info below what the, I believe it was 210 GSM, but it really feels nice and thick, and it does take quite a bit of water before it starts warping. So I do like it for my swatch book for that reason. So now that it's dry, let's look at Rhodonite Genuine. It's a super pretty pink. It's a cool tone pink, and it's sort of like a lilac-y pink. Very, very pretty, very gentle. It looks very pretty when it's watered out to almost nothing. Perylene Scarlet, here it is compared to the warm toned Peril red. The Perylene Scarlet is a cool toned red. Next one is Deep Scarlet, is a more muted and darker kind of red, which is great for certain purposes. And then we have the Iridescent Scarab Red. Now I have to say, on this paper it doesn't really look that great, but on other papers it really does. So the duochrome doesn't come through here very well at all, but if I will show you here on the swatch, there you go, you can see the green coming through beautifully. So possibly this paper is not great for shimmering watercolors. Then we have the Mayan Blue Genuine, so that's a very pretty kind of greyish muted blue. Ultramarine Turquoise, very pretty as well. Can't see much granulation going on. I didn't use my proper brush that I use for the swatches or for painting purposes, and so these swatches actually came out quite weird looking. They don't have consistency, but anyway. And then we have the Payne's grey and English red earth, like I said before. So this is just to share quickly. I will do separate videos on the talking about the pigments and transparencies and all of the other watercolor values, and that is that for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and see you soon.
See you soon.